Greetings. This is Doc Ock coming to you live and direct from Black Facts Headquarters Central this evening with another installment of Doc Ock at noon and 9. Yes, we are here one more time, doing it again with a great big grin from our ear to our chin, and we hope we do it so that you can all win. That's why we do it. We do it for you and you alone. So whether we know you or not, we know of you. And therefore, we can still do it just for you. So let's see where we're at today. First and foremost, you know what we need you to do. If you're watching us on Facebook, give us a like. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us the old thumbs up. And, of course, spread the word far and wide to all your friends, your family, your neighbors too, where they should be and what they should do if they don't want to be feeling really blue or looking kind of through. And that's right here on the Black Facts channel. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and read our words of wisdom for today. Let's see what Garvey has to say to us today. Let's see. Okay, here. How about this one? Be as proud of your race today as our fathers were in the days of yore. We have a beautiful history, and we shall create another in the future that will astonish the world. That will astonish the world. Now that's a hopeful vibe right there. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. And let's see where we left off in our book. Yes. Okay. Interesting. All right. Let's see. Where did I leave off? That is the question. Right. On his return to New York, Garvey learned that his wife, Amy Ashwood Garvey, was suing for a legal separation on the grounds that he was having an affair with his new secretary, a Jamaican woman named Amy Jacques. So Amy Ashwood, his first wife, Amy Jacques, did in fact become his second wife. And here it speaks to the fact that his first wife was jealous of her. We don't know if it was true that he was already consorting with her or not, but fact of the matter is they were married. The marriage had been troubled from the start, and Garvey had previously filed a divorce suit against his wife. Oh, the plot thickens. Go, that's better. Now we're in there. Okay, so the feeling of black unity that marked the first convention was already beginning to wane. Following the convention, Garvey's long-cherished desire for a black church was finally realized. Acting at Garvey's request, the chaplain of the UNIA, George Alexander McGuire, formed the African Orthodox Church. In a ceremony held on September 28, 1921, McGuire was ordained as bishop of the church, which taught its members that God and Christ were black. Many religious leaders attacked the new church, but it won a wide following, claiming a membership of 250,000 members at its peak. By the end of 1921, the Black Star Line's financial problems were beginning to catch up to Garvey. His critics demanded to know what had become of the $750,000 that investors had sunk in his shipping line. The Postal Department charged that Garvey was circulating false advertisements in order to raise money for the Black Star Line. In January 1922, Garvey was arrested on a charge of using the mail to deceive Black Star Line investors. In February, he and 3 other company officials, Orlando Thompson, Eli Garcia, and George Tobias, were indicted on 12 counts of mail fraud. The 4 men were released on bail while the federal government conducted a thorough investigation into the operations of the Black Star Line. The trial would not begin until 15 months after the indictment was handed down. It was the beginning of the end for Garvey and his movement. His great business, the Black Star Line, was to be his downfall. Chapter 7. The most dangerous enemy. As Garvey began his trial on March 21st, 1923, he was aware that he was in deep trouble. His phenomenal success in building up the largest black organization in history, then and now, his radical ideas and his abrasive style had earned him the hatred of many enemies. The efforts of these foes, combined with the failings of his own organization, brought about the UNIA leader's ruin. The most powerful force opposing Garvey was the U.S. government. Agents of the Justice Department had been watching his movements ever since his arrival in the United States. State Department officials periodically reported on UNIA activities in other countries. The UNIA was often described as dangerous in government reports on radical organizations. As early as 1919, FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover suggested in a memo that the government stifled Garvey by bringing fraud charges against him in connection with his Black Star Line business dealings. Garvey's statements that put the interests of their race above those of their country were seen by government officials as a threat to law and order. He was accused of being unpatriotic for saying, shortly after the end of World War I, the first dying that is to be done by the black man in the future will be done to make himself free. As for me, I think I have stopped dying for the white man. In 1921, when he was applying for U.S. citizenship, Garvey toned down his statements, but he remained firmly committed to the black separatist movement in America. The U.S. government was not alone in wanting to silence Garvey. The European colonial powers saw the UNIA's strong backing for native self-rule movements as a threat to their control of Africa and other regions. They blamed Garvey for inciting race riots and worker strikes in the colonies and barred him from entering many of their possessions. Garvey made a number of enemies within his own race as well. The leaders of other black organizations resented Garvey's criticisms of their efforts to win a place for blacks within the larger white society. The most powerful of Garvey's opponents was W.B. Du Bois, renowned editor and writer, co-founder of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and tireless worker for racial cooperation. Du Bois and his journal, the NAACP Crisis, had at first been mildly supportive of Garvey, calling him a sincere, hard-working idealist. In late 1920, Du Bois wrote articles criticizing Garvey's management of the Black Star Line. But heated exchanges between the two did not really begin until the middle of 1922. Du Bois published a series of damaging critiques of Garvey and his program and described the UNIA president as a little, fat, pudgy, black man, ugly, but with intelligent eyes and a big head. Now, you know them's fighting words anytime you call anybody big head. Those are just, that's them's fighting words right there. Yeah. How do I know? Because somebody called me big head and I was ready to go to war. That's why. Even though it might be true, that don't mean I want to hear it from you. Hello? Think about this. Okay? So, yeah, that was the last straw for Garvey. For his part, Garvey mocked Du Bois for his light-colored skin and accused the NAACP leader of wishing that he were white. Ever since his dispute with Jamaica's colored population, Garvey had been hostile to lighter-skinned black leaders, believing that they looked down upon their darker brothers and sisters. Garvey mistrusted whites and excluded them from the UNIA. Du Bois' organization was open to both blacks and whites. Garvey believed that this was a dangerous mistake, for he felt that though there may be a few good white men in America, there is no white man honest enough, sympathetic enough, humane enough, liberal enough to really take up the Negro's cause and fight it to a successful conclusion. Garvey also criticized the NAACP's program of racial integration. The UNIA advocated racial separatism, believing that blacks and whites must establish their own separate social and political institutions, their own churches, their own schools, their own businesses, their own governments. The NAACP, Garvey charged, wanted to destroy the black race through intermarriage with whites. Du Bois and his kind, Garvey claimed, believed that the black race will become, through social contact and intercourse, so mixed up with the white race as to produce a new type, probably like Du Bois himself, which will in time be the real American. Many of Garvey's views were shared by the KKK and other white supremacist groups who also believed in racial separatism and purity. Early in 1922, Garvey made a terrible mistake. Hoping to win Klan support for his Back to Africa movement, Garvey met with Klan leader Edward Young Clark in Atlanta. Clark wanted to learn about Garvey's views on racial purity and his plans for the black race. I was speaking to a man who was brutally a white man, and I was speaking to him as a man who was brutally a Negro, Garvey said at the meeting. The two men were able to agree on many points. Clark reportedly assured Garvey that the Klan would not interfere with UNIA activities. Garvey obviously never supported the Klan's campaign of violence and terror against blacks, but he believed that the Klan represented the true feelings of most white Americans toward blacks. He thought that the organized hostility of white supremacist groups was useful because it forced blacks to unite. But he was also convinced that the Klan was too strong to fight and that blacks must seek their future in a free Africa. Hence, the Black Star Line. If you're watching on YouTube, you see that up on your screen right now. The Black Star Line. Yes. So apparently, Garvey did form some kind of an alliance with the Klan and an agreement that the Klan would leave them alone if Garvey and the UNIA left the Klan alone. They returned to their mutual corners and implemented a truce, apparently. Meanwhile, we're at the end of our time for this evening. So we're going to go ahead and leave off right here with the Black Cross Nurses Association. If you're looking, as I said, if you're looking on, if you're watching this on YouTube, you would see that image was the last image that we showed in our slideshow for the evening. Keep in mind, every night we play some of the same pictures. You'll see some of the same pictures in our slideshow, but every night we switch them up. Every day, matter of fact, we switch them up twice a day. We switch them. So it does take a lot of work and a lot of effort to put these presentations together. We'd appreciate it if you would be able to give us your full support as well. And we're going to tell you how in just a minute. But first, let me speak just to the chillin'. To all those chilling within my voice, it's time for you to do something that might even earn you a Rolls Royce. Right now, if you hear my voice, what I need you to do is take your little head and put it on your little pillow, on your little bed, and close those your eyes while you wait on the sun to rise. And when you feel those sunbeams beaming down on your eyes, you know that it's time for you to rise and shine, oh children of mine. Shine your light. Don't keep it in a basket, a tisket, a tasket, a disaster if you keep your light hidden under a basket. Let your light shine in the new day. But for now, close your eyes and wait on that sun to rise. It'll come up just soon enough. But in the meantime, get your rest, because you're going to need it. Because in the new day, you're going to need your full strength. You want to be at full strength in the new day. When that sun comes up, start your day. And you'll have plenty of time to play and do all the things you like to do and still get some good rest in tonight. Now, for the adults, you know what we need you to do. Number one, give us a like if you're watching on Facebook. Give us a thumbs up if you watch. Please go ahead and subscribe. Hit that button right below. Don't forget it. Hit it and quit it. We're about gone. We're going to go ahead on to our extra as we say good night. Tuta Onana to Brother Imhotep Al-Kibulan. We're going to see you in a minute because that's our plan. We'll be black tomorrow at noon. See you then. Peace out, y'all.